I just woke up in my hotel. Today is the day. I will try to enter Iraq. I have some things to do before I cross the border. I need to get a permit, the green permit for the crossing. I need to exchange some money for the visa and make some arrangements pertaining to my hotel. So, if everything goes well, I will be crossing to Iraq in 5 to 6 hours. Kuwait, as always, a beautiful view. I'm waiting for a bus to take me to the Kuwaiti border with Iraq. 45 degrees. Very hard, very hard. The temperature is really making it difficult to do anything. I am now in the shade, but if I step out into the sun, it's crazy. And I'm dressed in all white. I'm hitchhiking to Iraq. My driver just left. Now I need to find the next one. There's about maybe 60 kilometers left to the border. Should be fine. I think there will be people stopping, curious to see tourists here in this part of the country. Hopefully. Here the temperature is really awful. It's very hard to do anything. Very hard to even stand with the thumb raised. I'm going to buy some water in the gas station here. After the first Gulf War, the road I am traveling along was known as the Highway of Death. That is because during the Iraqi retreat, coalition forces attacked the fleeing convoy here. So many vehicles were destroyed that the road was nearly totally blocked by the wreckages. I got maybe 15 kilometers further with another driver. I'm at a service station now. It's really hot. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Absolutely boiling. But I'm walking to the road. I bought some more water, just in case. And I have about 30 kilometers left to the border with Iraq. So I should get there pretty swiftly. Sadly, the road here looks very empty. Very few cars. I ended up spending a lot of time waiting for the next rides. But after about an hour and a half, I arrived at the crossing. Crossing on foot is not allowed here, so I had to wait for a special bus that would take me through the checkpoints. It was nice to have this bus available, since on many other border crossings, the only option is finding somebody who is willing to take you to the other side in their car. That was not an issue here. The bus took me through the Kuwaiti controls. I presented my permit for exiting into Iraq and was stamped out of the country. After that, the Iraqis issued a visa to me at the price of $75. This side of the border was much more chaotic, but to my surprise, there was a very good Wi-Fi connection available. After getting my stamps, I brushed off the taxi drivers offering rides to Basrah for 20,000 dinar and found my way to the local garage instead, where I got a car to the city for 3,000. After realizing that I was already in Iraq, I started feeling stressed or even a bit afraid. I remembered all the things that I have heard about this place, and I felt uneasy. Thankfully, I was about to find out quickly that this feeling wasn't gonna last. After arriving in the city, it started to disappear, and by the next afternoon, it was gone completely. I arrived in Basrah, the southernmost big city of Iraq. It is much less developed than Kuwait, but looks good. It doesn't seem dangerous. I am glad to be here in Iraq after such a long time waiting for this trip. I checked into my hotel already, and now I'm walking towards Boulevard, where supposedly you can find many activities to do in the evening. This is the southmost big city of Iraq. It took me maybe 40 minutes to get here from the border. It's pretty easy. The boulevard turned out to be a very vibrant and crowded place. There was a small market there, as well as many fast food shops. Music was being played on barges cruising along the river, and the atmosphere was very positive. It was surprising to me, as I already got used to the much more pious Saudi Arabia, where you would be hard-pressed to find a place like this.
I just bought a burger for $1.50. It's very nice. Very nice.
After exploring the riverside and talking with some of the Iraqis there, I started walking back to my hotel. I needed to get some sleep before the next day, when I was going to learn about the history of the city and Iraq in general from Ahmad, who I met through couchsurfing, and who later turned out to be a very knowledgeable guide. After waking up, I ate some breakfast at the restaurant next to the hotel, and then got ready for a day of sightseeing. The history of Basra goes back over 1,300 years. Its strategic location makes it a perfect trade hub. The recent instability of the region made it lose importance, but the Iraqi government is currently building a new port 100 kilometers away, which is supposed to facilitate the movement of goods from the Persian Gulf to Turkey and even Europe. Basra has long been a melting pot of cultures due to its position as a key crossroads between the East and the West. Throughout its history, it has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, from the early Islamic caliphates to the Ottoman Empire. The city's proximity to the Shatt al-Arab waterway, where the Tigris and Euphrates meet, has played a crucial role in its commercial significance. This waterway once served as a bustling route for maritime trade, connecting Iraq to major ports across the world. I had the opportunity to see the traditional architecture of the city and visit local heritage sites. Ahmed, who acted as my guide, taught me a lot about the city and the experience of living there. He showed me museums and mosques, as well as an Armenian church. After the conclusion of the Gulf War in the 90s, the southern Shia population of Iraq organized a rebellion against the country's Sunni dictator, Saddam Hussein. Basra was at the center point of this uprising, and after the rebellion was crushed by the army, the ruler decided to punish the city's inhabitants by slowing its economic development. The effects of these actions can still be seen today. After that, I said bye to Ahmed, and a bit hungry and still ignorant of the local cuisine, I ate my first falafel.
It is awesome. I don't know what's the name. The second day in Basra, it's coming to an end. I can hear the Al-Maghrib, the call to prayer that is announced at sunset.
I decided to spend the rest of the day walking around the same older parts of the city. The experience was different in the night time.
This used to be a Jewish school. Now there is speakers mounted on it, and they are playing the adhan.
I walked around town for 2 hours, and after that I got invited to eat by a local who I met on the street. Sadly, I have no footage of that, but I do have video of a poster showing the Iranian general Qasem Soleimani, who was very popular in Iraq. He was killed by an American airstrike in Baghdad 5 years ago.
It's a bit more lively than Saudi Arabia. They don't play music in Saudi Arabia.
At the end of the day, it was time to go rest. I have to say that I really liked Basra. It has a rich history and beautiful architecture, but sadly most of that is obscured by the lack of maintenance, poverty, and lack of investment. I know that the situation is changing, although very slowly, but there is hope that Basra will someday regain its importance and prestige. My time in Basra has come to an end. I found a short taxi to Al-Qurna, the next town I wished to visit. The road quality in the country is very low, and driving is probably one of the less safe things that you can do here. The taxi had AC, which was great considering that the temperature outside was about 45 degrees Celsius. The place I was planning to visit next was a park located next to the spot where the rivers Tigris and Euphrates meet. Local legends say that this is the place where the biblical Garden of Eden was located. They also say that the Prophet Abraham, who is important to Jews, Christians and Muslims, has visited this area.
I am now in Al-Qurna. This is supposedly the place where the Garden of Eden was located. I am now next to the tree of Adam. Supposedly, according to local tradition, this is the tree that was created by God in the Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge, the tree that damned the human race to endless suffering. In reality, it has been replanted already a couple of times.
My next destination was the town of Chibaish. Chibaish is surrounded from all sides by swamps, known as marshes. I always imagined Iraq as a very dry place, but there are actually wetlands here in the south.
I just got to Chibaish, to the martyr monument here behind me, and I'm supposed to meet my guide who's going to take me out to the marshes. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
We are here in the marshes with Ali.
Yes, Ali Marshes.
Yes,
Yes.
Ali lives here in the marshes.
Okay.
He has a traditional house, and he has a boat. He organizes tours across the marshes.
Marshes English, Arabic الأهوار.
Al-Ahwar.
الأهوار. Okay.
Together with Ali, we visited the Martyrs' Monument and then witnessed the beautiful sunset. Ali has shown me to my hut and brought me an amazing supper.
I arrived in the marshes. So these are the wetlands of southern Mesopotamia, the wetlands of Iraq. Very green, full of water, but they were completely destroyed during the rule of Saddam Hussein, who, after a rebellion of the Shia in the south, decided to drain the marshes because the Marche Arabs who were living here, they were supporting the rebellion and they were hiding in the tall vegetation. So under some pretenses, he just drained them completely and destroyed a 7,000-year-old ecosystem. And they have been rebuilding themselves during the last 20 years. They were reinstated after the US invasion of Iraq. But of course, you cannot reconstruct an ecosystem so fast. So they are still only a shadow of their former selves.